Hello traders, welcome to today's video. It is Tuesday the 13th of February 2024. This is your Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market update. So Bitcoin is at $50,000. Very happy. Crazy to think that just a few weeks ago there was all this post-ETF FUD happening. Oh my God, everyone's selling Bitcoin. It's going to dump. It's the top. And then what happens? We are now above those previous highs when everyone was getting crazy bearish. Where are we at? We were the ones buying that dip at 38,800, still riding that long position. Happy days, still looking very good for now. And yeah, I think it's just, we, in my opinion, are going into what personally for me is like the most exciting phase of a market cycle for myself, with a ton of new projects launching. There's loads of we've gone away from like the meme coin season somewhat, and it's getting back into like the real serious stuff to see what kind of innovation is around this market cycle, to see what the main narratives are going to be. New protocols releasing, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, all of this kind of stuff, gaming projects, AI stuff, all of this popping off, going like crazy. And it's very similar. It's very reminiscent to what we had back in the DeFi summer of 2020. So what I'm probably going to be doing over the course of the next, well, as long as these market conditions remain the same, is to have these videos as a bit more of a general overview of the market as a whole, rather than just focusing on the Bitcoin technicals, because to be honest, the opportunity isn't really with Bitcoin right now, in my opinion. It's elsewhere. So there's bullish and bearish cases for Bitcoin, as there always is. There's little scalps that can be taken. There's ways in which to kind of milk the price action that's currently going on. But the big opportunities do lie elsewhere. And what we saw back in basically this August, September, October of 2020, before the main parabolic move here from the rest of the market, is this is when most of the projects that are just household names right now, Solana, Polkadot, Matic, Avalanche, all those like major protocols, a ton of other stuff, this is when they launched. Okay, so the DeFi summer is when all of this stuff launched. So if you go back to like the very first day, the very earliest chart you can see of Solana, the very earliest chart you can see of Polkadot, the very earliest one you can see of Avalanche, they all launched in this DeFi summer, which is what we do seem to be going into now, with a ton of new projects starting to come out, all of the airdrops that are available, all of the new projects launching right now, giving so many opportunities. And these are the ones that, I mean, just as a quick example, you go to like something like Solana, for example, which has been doing very well recently. But if you look back to where that actually came from, ignore these positions, this is like some old stuff. Where this actually came from, it is that summer of 2020, before so many of these things doing those like 100x moves to the upside before. But well, and then just continuing to be able to ride this stuff to the end of that bull market. So really exciting phase in the market. This is probably my favorite thing, to see which projects have the potential to do something like this. And this is something that I'm spending a lot of time looking at right now, with a bunch of these things like the likes of Tia, Dimension, Manta, all of these very early projects that at some stage are going to look like this, and they're just going to go completely nuts, which is very exciting to see. Now, bringing it back onto Bitcoin, of course, actually, do let me know in the comments below whether you would like to see more of that kind of content, because I am going to be focusing for myself, because we're here to make money, and this is where the opportunity is. I'm going to be focusing personally on looking for those new projects, buying those new projects early, taking the risk, because of course with anything there is risk. These things can go to zero. They can not realize their full potential. You might pick the wrong stuff. But for me, I am a bit of a nerd at heart, and I love to geek out on this stuff, and I love to see what is new within the market. So this is something that I'm going to be doing a lot more. So if you want to see a lot more content on that, let me know in the comments and everything below. Make sure you smash a like and do all of those kind of things as well. And check out tauruscrypto.com. If you are new here, you can see the link up in the top corner, all the way over there. Go check out the website and you can join the crew where we're looking at the market multiple times a day, constantly looking for all the opportunities. We've got a fantastic community over there. And as if you want to really like make the most of this market cycle, like think about this. Bitcoin is not far off of all-time highs. You are running out of time here. This is going. We're in the bull market now. So if you do want to maximize the bull market, there is no better way to do so than having a community of people that are all looking for the opportunities as well. So if you're out there on your own, you're one of those lone rangers and you're like, I'm just a trader, I'm doing this all on my own, but you're failing to maximize the opportunity, then joining a community where there are experts in multiple fields. We've just opened up a DeFi section. We've opened up an NFT section, a gaming section, and there's tons of chat going on within the Discord as well over there. I can show you some of what we have. Basically, if we open up the Discord and we can look at the on-chain stuff, looking for airdrops and doing all of this kind of stuff on a daily basis. If anyone's looking to start to play around with different protocols and all of that kind of thing, then we have a gas request channel that I've just opened up. So if anyone just needs a little bit of like spare change to start playing around with protocols, then feel free to do that. We're looking into like mining opportunities within mining, the NFTs and gaming section, people playing House of Mavia and all of that kind of thing. So a ton of new stuff alongside all of the technical analysis information that's already there. This is the kind of thing that we're looking at just constantly within the Discord. So yeah, enough said about that. Okay, I don't need to continue to sell it. We are very good at what we do over there at Taurus. We're doing very well. We managed to call this low. Okay, we managed to call this high previously, and we are now riding these long positions to however high they want to be. So if you are struggling and you are not making the most out of this market, we're here to help. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So from a technical perspective, if we just start off with this, the main level that we're currently at, and this got mentioned in the London trading room again, the benefits of having an active and engaged community is that other people may spot stuff that you're not necessarily spotting. We've basically tapped into the low of the day where we had essentially what was a bit of a bull trap within the last, back in 2021. You can see here, price making this gap up, all right, trying to break out of this consolidation gap up, a sweep of the highs, failure to get continuation towards 52K back a couple of years ago. You gap back through it, this being one of those inversions, something that we're trading a lot currently within the crew on all time frames, an inversion that creates a bearish backtest, which then just followed on to absolute death of the market for the next few months beyond that. Okay, so really like important level to be aware of. We are currently right there, just sat within that gap and just tested that low of the particular day. So essentially flip this and you're looking incredibly bullish up towards the next gap here. But we are at this like pretty high time frame macro resistance right now. Now, if you take it back down onto the lower time frames, okay, you can see just range bound. All right, yesterday there was this bit of a dip in the morning. Alts didn't really like it. And it's because we were back making that potential double top type of thing over here. But market's showing its direction. And for myself, I am probably anticipating a little bit more continuation here. As you all know, 52K is the main target for me. What 52K does is it takes out these highs and comes into where that next gap is on the chart, a little bit more of a significant one here. So still looking for that. Of course, what we have here on this big line here is the next halving. And alongside the next halving, we do have the 1.618 of our previous two all-time highs. Okay, so we are approaching what is a very significant both time pivot and that halving coming up here. And in addition to that still, okay, there is the potential of this being a higher high with a loss of momentum. All right, if you were to turn on your like your RSI and such over here. Now, RSI, something to be aware of when you're looking at this, the the actual length of time that's taken between making two highs is important. I'm not sure I'd necessarily be looking at this as bearish divergence right now. However, you can see the previous highs that have been made all like kind of showing these divergences. And with the fibs, if we are to pull a Fibonacci, then where this is right now, okay, this level here where the market topped out previously is the 1.114, which is a little bit of a hidden, like, minor expansion Fibonacci level. You would often look to the 272, but that 1.114, basically, if the market fails there, it's a sign of weakness. You get caught back within the range, and then you're looking at a bit of a flush lower. So right now the market is right there, and what you would say now is that this is critical that it holds basically above that 48k level. If it does not, then this essentially being a failed rally, a failed breakout. Okay, you get caught back within here, and you would be looking for essentially correcting this entire move up. All right, very similar to what it did in the previous bull market. You have a big move up with a consolidation in the middle. The correction comes back down to test the consolidation, a failed breakout, and then you come and sweep the entire thing. So what did we have here? A big move up, a consolidation within the middle, a breakout which came back to test that consolidation, the potential of a failed breakout, and then if this does move down, you are looking to correct all of this that we've put in recently. So something to be aware of. Okay, we also have open interest approaching extremely high levels, and this is something that we do need to be aware of. However, unless we do get caught below that 48 again, all right, I remain bullish and looking for opportunities to the upside. Now, a little bit more on the macro. Okay, we are going to be, let's have a look over here. Just in general, all right, we have liquidation heat maps. Okay, we can see that there's still like the main clusters of local liquidations, and this is continuous with what's happening at the moment, is above. We are getting people trying to short the rally consistently. Okay, so something to be very aware of. What we also have here is, this is something that had been mentioned, the open interest is getting very high, but whilst the price is continuing in the direction that basically the market is trying to push it, it's not a sign of weakness. It's not anything to be too concerned about. What you would be concerned about is if the price stops moving up, right? So if we take it down onto a lower time frame here, if price does start to stop moving up and delta is moving up and open interest is moving up, that will start to show that potential that there is some major absorption here, which not really. I still think higher is kind of likely, but you do have these moments where open interest gets a little bit tasty. I would say that actually what we're looking at right now is actually more short. It is again, does seem to be like delta down, price up. So delta sloping down, price sloping up, open interest sloping up. It does seem to be that there are more shorts, that they can continue to squeeze shorts here for the time being. When you look at the spot market, the bid is holding relatively well. We could see yesterday that flush that we had yesterday morning was mainly perps led. Okay, spot was holding up pretty well, and then we got that continuation higher. So nothing really to be concerned about. As we say, the entire market is green, and I do expect this to continue unless we do get caught back below that 48,500 area. Now, some other things just to mention. I'm going to go through a few other things here. It's very, very early. Like I say, we are still very early in this cycle. And what we're looking at is an initial peak of interest that's starting to bring in a few new people just as attention with participants that are already here. We're not really seeing that much in the way of new participants, but we certainly are seeing more attention from people who have been around during the whole bear market. Very reminiscent of what we had in that DeFi summer, where there was that initial peak of attention. This is like looking at Twitter followers and some of the biggest accounts. You can do the same here on your YouTube subscribers and stuff. And we're starting to get a bit of interest coming back in. But once again, nothing compared to what we've seen previously. Okay, this is looking at something very, very early right now, and I would expect within the next year or so, we are going to, like, 50K is going to seem like it was an incredible buying opportunity. But like, even if there is to be a dip, it is, yeah, we're in a bull market, and you do have to accept that at this stage. If you're still bearish and you're expecting much lower prices, and you're not expecting your all-time highs to happen within the next year, I don't know what to say, because there's enough signs right now to basically be proving that this is how things are. Cake mentioned this morning on our trading room as well. So something else to be aware of is, like, again, an example of how early we are. We're still within this lower portion of basically looking at market cycles. This is just the repricing, and this is what we've been in for a while, like repricing, correcting some of the losses that were made over the bear market. And we haven't even seen the proper bull run yet, so still a long way to go. Okay, this has some pretty mad targets for higher. Not saying that we're going to get there. It's probably quite unlikely. You can see that we didn't reach the top of this band on the previous cycle, but it's things to be aware of. Okay, just something to mention. As well, like, funding rates are relatively chill here. I don't know what this vertex is. Never seen that. But funding rates aren't getting too crazy. You can see that there's negative funding on some altcoins as well. BNB is an interesting ecosystem at the moment. I've actually been looking into that, because I do think that we'll see a nice run from BNB maybe fairly soon. And yeah, that's kind of everything from a macro perspective. I'm still just talking about stuff here. So yeah, bringing it back onto the charts. Nothing too much more to update on. We can have a look at the total market caps. I think that's something that is important. We are approaching that 786 of this high, but remember, overall Bitcoin is already up here. It's the altcoins that are lagging. Okay, and this is, nothing is more nothing shows that quite as well as when you look at the total 2 and the total 3 market cap. What happened previously, this was really like, if we were going to get that big crash, it probably should have happened already, right? And now I think red arrow down is slowly getting invalidated. For myself, I'm looking at if the total market cap can start to break through this, like, 500 billion area, which it is starting to do now. We've had a nice consolidation. We've back tested previous resistance, okay, on a few occasions. We've tested this anchored VWAP, that has held strong. We're now in the process of breaking this one. And then for me, it would be green arrow. A big move up from altcoins is what we're likely to see if and when we do start to get some consolidation here. It does look very, very bullish indeed. And it's the same thing for this total 2 when you add Ethereum into the equation. Okay, previous resistance here, you back tested it on a couple of occasions, and it does appear to be that we're moving up towards that $1 trillion mark there from the total 2 market cap. Now, interestingly enough, okay, if you do just look at the BTC market cap, I need to actually add this on here. The market cap of Bitcoin is approaching that 1 trillion. So once again, something to be aware of. Okay, it didn't really stop Bitcoin in the past on really any occasion. Okay, we can see the first time we tested it, you had some consolidation around there, but we are approaching that key $1 trillion level mark on here. And if ETH and the rest of the market starts to move, then that can be, again, another 1 trillion added onto the market, which obviously will take our total market cap up towards around that 2 trillion mark. So there is a little bit higher that we can start to look at. If we just draw these fibs over from here, once again there, then you can see that 618 does line up just above that 2 trillion, and it is kind of where the Bitcoin price is at, well, similar, right? Okay, similar kind of thing. Now, this is 20 minutes long, so it probably is wise for me to wrap up there. And yeah, that's probably everything I have to say. So thank you very much for watching. Do give it a like, comment, all of those things below, and I'll see you in the next update very, very soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.